Hey everyone, this is Dominica Escatel and welcome to Chicana Inc. presents Corazon Alma Espiritu, Heart, Soul, and Spirit. And I am here with my amiga, my friend Rocio.
Hey,
Rocio, thank you so much for being here, girl.
I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much. I love you, everybody.
Girl, I can't wait. I'm excited for you to talk about what you're going to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and dive in because Mujer, I want to honor your time. And you know, with the internet technology, we're starting a little bit later than we wanted to. But you know what? That's how we roll here. You know, as Latinas, we always come in late anyways to the rooms.
Y además, la que se espera, you know, at the end of the day, you know, the people that come late are the party poppers anyway. So it's okay.
Hey.
We had our food. We're good to go. But yes, it wasn't our fault. We were on time. Let's put it out there. We were on time.
Right, yes.
Computadora y el internet no quisieron cooperar, pero we were on time.
For sure. So everyone that is listening, please, we're going to use the chat box today. So ask your questions, leave Rocio some comments, and we'll flash them on the screen and show her some love today. But we're going to go ahead and let her get started. So Rocio, see you in a little bit.
All right, bye-bye. Hey, everybody. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. So I am Rocio, the host and creator of Tootsie Rolaids, your life sweet relief. I give you information as far as how to start your infertility journey, okay? So it's kind of like a yay to infertility. Well, to fertility, because at this moment, if you're listening to me, you're probably infertile. But we're going to help you. We're going to get you into a great mindset to have you be a parent, to be a mom, okay? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to share my screen and we're going to start. You have any questions, leave them in the comment because when I put up my screen, yo no veo nada. I can't see anything. At the end, we're going to have a little opportunity for questions and answers, and I'll help you to the best of my abilities, okay? Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. Vamos pa'lante. All right, so welcome to your little mini workshop of infertility and all in between. Get started en tu camino hacia la fertilidad. Con me, Rocio, Tootsie Rolaids, Life Sweet Relief Creator. Para énfasis, puse ese, that little sprinkle for emphasis. Next, I know you're probably thinking, who are you? ¿Y quién eres tú? Para hacerme sufrir. Okay, let me stop because I am Rocio Afro-Latina. I am of Dominican descent, Dominicana. My 9 to 5, I am a social worker. So my level of expertise comes a lot from gathering information, research, as far as like, you know, me helping you find funds and money and all that, which we're going to talk about later on. That is my level of expertise. So that is what I do. And I brought that into the fertility community. Okay. So my journey. So the reason why I became an expert is because in my journey of infertility, I went through 4 IUIs, 2 rounds of IVF, and I had 2 miscarriages. So I do know what it feels to be in your space when they tell you you're infertile. ¿Y ahora qué hago? You know what I mean? So anywho, so the reason, like the next point suggests, I had no support. Yo no tenía apoyo cuando yo pasé por mi camino hacia la fertilidad. I try to find things as far as like words of encouragement, women of color, and I didn't see that. And I cannot blame the pages of women that are more European features, whitewashed, because the thing is that it's not their fault that they don't have information or people that will come forward, especially in our Latino community. That is so taboo for you to even mention, ay, yo tengo problema en haciendo un bebé y esto y lo otro. That's something very private, very intimate. So I didn't find any support at all online. So I created my own space. That's what I did. I was like, let me create my own community. And the way that I created my community is to open a podcast. So if you see to your right, that is my podcast, Tootsie Rolaids, Life Sweet Relief. And you're more than welcome to listen to me. We'll get more detail on how to use, facilitate, and listen to my podcast because it's a little bit of everything, right? And like the last point says, I'm a podcaster and an information hub of networking and communication between you and all of this new mundo that you're entering, okay? So let's go. I like my little shakes. Okay, so now we're going to step into the world of infertility. En otra palabra, ¿y qué hago ahora? So now you went to the gyno. You try so many times to try to get pregnant by yourself. But what do you do? What is your next step? Okay. So I have all of my papelitos here because I have my notes because I came here prepared to help you, right? So first and foremost, you are not alone. All right. This is more common than you think being infertile. About 10% of women, 6.1 million in the United States, ages 15 to 44, have difficulty getting pregnant or staying pregnant, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. En otra palabra, the CDC. So don't think that, ay, Dios mío, yo soy la única que estoy pasando por eso. No, mujer, tú no eres la última ni la única que está pasando por eso. So take your time and understand that this is something that is not just happening to you. It's happening to a lot of women, and it's more common than you think, okay? 2, it's not your fault, and I cannot stress this enough. A lot of women, when they go through infertility, the first thing that you do is blame yourself. I could have ran. I could have been healthier. I could have taken this pill. I should have listened to my vecina. There's so many shoulda, coulda, wouldas. But at the end of the day, you cannot do anything about it. Why? Because infertility is an illness. It's a disease of the reproductive system. So it's not something that you really have control over. It is not your fault. So don't feel that you have to like almost self-inflict this pain. It is going to happen because por más que yo te diga que no lo hagas, tú lo vas a hacer. Pero don't stay in the abyss of sorrow. I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie, The Never-Ending Story. Don't be Artax. Don't be the horse. Don't get consumed in the swamp of sadness. You need to get up with Atreyu and you need to ride along the horizons with him, okay? So let's not stay in sad land. Let's continue and move forward, right? Okay. Also, another thing I wanted to say about the infertility and the illnesses is don't jump to conclusions. Wait to see what the medical professionals say. And not la vecina que tiene un jarabe to give your boost to your system and to give you false hope. Don't do that. And also, because infertility is a medical condition, different reasons like PCOS or endometriosis or others can contribute to your infertility. So definitely wait and see what your doctor says to see what path your journey is going to look like when you guys go through that, okay? Next slide. So now where do I begin? ¿A dónde comienzo, right? The first thing you're going to do, and this is where my level of expertise is going to start, is insurance, okay? So the first thing you need to do is become BFF with your seguro, with your insurance. They will determine the outline of how your journey will proceed and and ground you a bit into understanding what is covered and what isn't. A lot of people immediately think of infertility and they think, oh my God, I have to do this. I have to do that. As far as payment, I don't know where am I going to go. I'm just going to go into IVF. I'm just going to, no. Everything there is a process. So you have to really concentrate on what you need to do as far as moving forward with a center and with your new fertility doctor. Also, after you speak to your fertility doctor, one thing, well, not after you speak to your fertility, after you speak to your gyno, one thing I will recommend, a lot of doctor's office, you have to realize that this is also a business. So they will recommend and affiliate you to doctors that they have affiliation with. And sometimes their affiliates don't have a contract with your insurance. That doesn't mean that you cannot go with another fertility center if they're covered with your insurance. Just because the doctor recommends a doctor doesn't mean you have to go to them, because there can be a chance that you're not covered through that doctor. So the best thing to do is just get the referral that you need to see a fertility doctor, and then call the insurance and tell them, I'm going through this journey. I have been diagnosed. I am infertile. What places can I go to that you guys cover? And not that they cover 100% depending on what state you're in. It's just cover as far as, your procedures, your daily visits, the blood drawn, things like that. They will cover. Sometimes they cover IUIs and IVS, and we'll get a little bit more into that. The second thing you're going to do is research. Si a ti no te gusta escudriñar, tú vas a tener que aprender, linda, because you have to do your research, right? So when you research, you will see what fertility centers are affiliated with your insurance. And then you're going to Google, Yelp, and look up reviews on the location. This is very important. A lot of people's opinion will serve as a judgment to how you're going to be treated at that location. Also, look at the year. If somebody says that this place was horrible and it was literally in 2001, I'm sure that they have changed their practices. I'm sure that they have changed their practices since then till now. try to look at reviews that are less, that the oldest, I would say a year and then on. So if we're in 2021, try to see somebody in maybe 2000 and that's it. 2020 and that's it. Because that's as far as you guys can go. So that way you get an actual current vibe and feel of everything. And after you find a place and you're like, este lugar como que me cayó bien, listen to your gut. I cannot stress this enough. During this time, your journey it's very personal. Obviously, it's happening to you. This is something that's going to affect you physically. It's going to be something that's going to affect you mentally. And if you're spiritual, it will affect you spiritually. You have to go with your gut. If you go somewhere where you don't feel as clean, if you don't feel as up to your standards, if you already feel a disconnect with staff and with doctors, run, because your gut is telling you that no matter how they treat you, it's not going to be to your standards, and you're going to be hypersensitive, and you need to be in a place where it brings you peace, it brings you happiness, and you do feel comfortable. I'll give you a quick example. My experience. When I was looking for different locations, I was concerned. I don't know anything about fertility or anything like that, or where to go, or how even to understand the reviews that I was reading. But I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to listen to my gut, because one of the greatest attributes I have is that I do listen to my gut. And I went to one of the places that I went to, and they had a big fish tank. Now, to you guys, it's like, ay, gran cosa. To me, it's everything. I love fish tanks. I have a fish tank at home. It calms me. Water calms me. Looking at fish calms my soul, distracts my mind, and brings me peace to see things underwater and just to be in that space. They had a huge fish tank. And when I saw that, I felt like God was dirigiéndome, like, mija, this is the place you need to be. Aquí está lo tuyo. Quédate aquí. So that's what I did. And ever since then, that location has been nothing but amazing to me. And I loved my fertility place. So I just want to help you understand that, you have to look at these little signs. Anything that throws you off, listen to it. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. My little jiggle. I love it. So the different paths on becoming a parent. So the thing is that a lot of people, when you start your journey, tú dices, ay, Dios mío, yo tengo que pasar por esto, tengo que pasar por lo otro. La meta no es pasar. You see, the goal is not just to go through this. It's not to get over your infertility. The whole point is to become a parent. Now, when you start on your journey, there are usually 4 different paths of you becoming a parent. One of them is through IUI, and that's artificial insemination. So these are if you want, you could take a screenshot, or if you not, take a picture with your phone. But basically, I'm going to give you the Rocio version of the professional words that I have written on my PowerPoint. An IUI is when they take the sperm of your husband and they put it, or donor sperm, and they put it inside of you when you're already ovulating or when your eggs dropped, right? And it's básicamente es like cogiendo el tren. The sperm is gonna, instead of it going by itself naturally, it's like taking the train express, and it leaves you literally in the door of the hole of where the egg is gonna be. So that's what artificial insemination is, right? Then you have IVF. That's when they take the egg of the woman, they take the sperm of the man, they take the best quality egg, they forcefully put it together, and then put it inside the woman to see if that egg actually develops into a blastocyst, which means that the egg fertilized, and then it turns into a possible baby. The next step is surrogacy. So that is when like I wrote it here, either both partners are medically unfit to conceive. You bring another person, so it's another woman who is either artificially inseminated, or you put your egg and your sperm that are together, right? That form a blastocyst, which means that the egg, is now multiplying to possibly become a child, and you put that into another woman. Or maybe the woman isn't able to have any more eggs, so you take that person's egg, so that extra woman that's gonna hold the baby, you take her egg, take the sperm, put it together, and then have her carry, and then when she gives birth, she gives you the baby. So that's surrogacy, right? And then you have adoption, where it's basically the legal act of taking care of a child. And there are different levels to the adoption as well, but we're just concentrating on the overall idea. Now, there are different paths to IUI, IVFs, surrogacy, and adoption. What is comfortable for you, you will decide with you and your partner to see what's the best option for you to do, right? And again, I repeat it again, the goal is to become a parent, not just to get over fertility drugs, okay? All right, next slide. So now, the main conversation everybody wants to have is money. Who pays? ¿Quién paga? Porque ¿quién va a pagar por esto? Porque yo no tengo dinero, tú no tienes dinero. It's different ways of you guys to actually pay for infertility. And this is where my expertise comes in, right? So you have insurance, right? Excuse me. So you have insurance. Now with your insurance, they will explain what covers and what percentages they're going to cover. And in most cases, they will be vocal on what they do not cover. For example, the insurance that I had cover unlimited amounts of IUIs, but nothing of IVF. So I can continually always get IUIs, which is the artificial insemination, AKA the sperm takes the train to my ovaries in order for me to, well, technically to my egg in order for me to get pregnant. So that's what happened to me in my insurance. There's other insurances that'll be like, okay, well, we'll cover this if you do that. We'll cover this if you do that, you know? So that's like kind of like the bit of insurance. That's why it's very important for you to find out first what your insurance covers, okay? Next up, we have state grants. Now, every state has some type of assistance with payments for infertility. The best way to find it is just looking for, literally, you're going to write your state. This is how you're going to Google it. State, whatever state you're in. So Oklahoma infertility grants. And see if they have everything in Oklahoma or in every state. For example, I'm from New York. So in New York, we do have a state grant, and it's called the Fertility Demonstration Program, and it's income-based to assist with payments towards your infertility journey. So if you're in New York and you're able to, and you cannot afford IVF, then you would apply for this grant, which is income-based, and that's how they will determine, you know, how your medicine is going to be covered, because they do, you know, in the program, medication is covered, payment is covered. So it's a lot of things that you can do. That's only state by state. So you would have to search that. Okay. And if you can't search that, ven a mi página, that every single week I drop a new information on the states that I find out and what they cover and things like that. So you could definitely do that. Next up, we have foundations. So there's a lot of different foundations that you can apply for that can give you money. Okay. So usually requirements are usually listed on the application. Okay. You can also come to my page on Tootsie Rolaids on Instagram, and I always put it in my stories, like different foundations, like there's the Cade Foundation that, you know, they have different like runs like twice a year for $10,000 that you can put towards anything, where it's adoption, IVF, IUI, anything to do with your fertility journey, right? So there are different private foundations that can actually help you out. And the fourth is a personal loan, okay? So with the personal loan, I have a question, right? Do you pick up the phone without knowing who it is? Because if you do, mujer, tú tienes buen crédito. Go to the bank and take out a loan. Because I know I can't be picking up the phone for a weird number calling me. Pero la gente que tiene buen crédito, you see a number, ay, este número es raro, déme recoger. Every time I see that, I'm like, esa tiene el crédito bueno. So if you have good credit or you have okay credit and you're able to take out a loan, you definitely can look and exercise that option. So there are options for you to get, you know, financially assisted during this process, because it's a lot to take in, you know what I mean? So I want to make sure that you're covered. Next, so motivation. You have motivación. One of the things that happens to us when we go through our infertility is actually it's difficult to find your village, which is why I created my village, because I feel that we need the support, right? So one of the things that you can do to find your village is confide in friends, confide in your family, and find pages that will help you, like my amazing page. Come to Tootsie Rolaids, and you will see support. You will see stories of people, but we're going to get into that a little bit later. Pero you need to find your village. You need to create somewhere where it's okay for you to cry that it didn't work out, where it's okay that you're frustrated because you have to take this freaking oil injection for the umpteenth time and you're tired, or this hormone drug to have you create, you know, a lot of eggs. It's a lot of mental and physical things that you have to go through. You should not have to go through this alone, and do not go through it alone. There's no reason why you should be alone. it really does take a village, not only to raise a child, but also to keep your sanity. So you need to make sure that you're okay. Also, go on podcasts. There's so many podcasts out there, like mine, that can talk you through a ledge and talk to you about infertility and educate you so you don't feel alone. And you shouldn't feel alone. It's not a great place to be in. You know what I mean? Also, you need to make sure that you have mental relief. Now, this is very important. I'm a huge advocate for mental health awareness. So, excuse me, if you find yourself nervous, or there are people that cannot find a village with their friends and family, and they don't have the energy to even look up pages like my own, then I strongly recommend that you get apps to try to get you out of a funk, to try to get you to express how you feel. You know what I mean? So if you want, you could use some apps that will help you calm down and just bring more focus to you. Whether it's the Fabulous app, you can also get Headspace. That's a great way, and to clear your mind. And also the Calm app. You can reach out to these different type of levels of calming and centering yourself during this journey. Also, if you need to talk to someone, definitely use Talkspace or call your insurance and see how you can get into communication with one. So there are different ways for you to mentally get yourself through the process. And there's a lot of therapists out there that know that this is happening to women and serve as a great outlet to you and your concerns. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure that you understand that these are your options. You don't have to go through this alone. Also, you can always journal. You can always keep a journal, a diary, somewhere to keep your thoughts and feelings. But it's always best to andar en coro, have some type of support for your mental health sanity. You need to make sure that you're okay, because you need to mentally put yourself in a space that, when you do get pregnant or when you do become a mom, that you're healthy mentally to support the beautiful life that you're trying to bring into your family. Okay? Next. So why is a pineapple used as the mascot of infertility? I get this question all the time, and then I had to stop being lazy and look it up, right? So why? Cuentos de Hadas states the following, because tú sabes que todo el mundo tiene su berrinche and what the story is and what you did and da-da-da-da-da. So one of the myths is that if you eat the core of a pineapple before you transfer, it helps you get extra sticky on the inside of the uterus, making it a perfect place for your embryo to stick to. Pero eso es lo que dicen, right? Eso es lo que dicen la gente. So basically, when you do your transfer, when you're going through IVF, and they take your egg that's already been injected with the sperm, and it reaches blastocyst, and it means that it's ready to grow, right? When they inject the embryo inside of you, the blastocyst inside of you, it needs to hold on for dear life in order for it to get the nutrients it needs to try to create the sac, try to create the baby, and so on and so forth. The stickier you are on the inside, the higher the chances that it is for the embryo to latch on and grow. So the thing is, the old wives' tale, lo que dice la gente, is that if you eat the core of a pineapple, it actually makes your inside sticky. Because of this, it's now become kind of like the mascot of anybody going through infertility, right? Also, it means that us, as infertility warriors, are like a pineapple. We stand tall, we wear a crown, and we can be sweet on the inside, even though we're going through so much on the outside. So we can still remain true to who we are. So a lot of soul sisters that are going through this, you always see them rocking very proudly the pineapple, and everybody's just, when you're in a space where you see a lot of people like rock a pineapple, and specific, like when you see them, decked out in pineapple, sometimes it's kind of like eso está pasando. I see you. You're a warrior like me. So that's why pineapples are so good, right? And that's why it's represented within the infertility community. So we women use this symbol in solidarity with our friends and family that are going through it. And also people that are going through it, half went through it and graduated. Okay? So God willing, you'll be able to graduate too. I was able to graduate after my second cycle of IVF, and I was able to bring my son into the world. And he was the biggest inspiration I had to bring, people like you guys that are part of this, part of the journey, to let you know that you're not alone. Tú no estás sola. tú me tienes a mí en tu camino y entera vamos ahí en coro. Like they say, my people, right? Next slide. So, another thing that I wanted to talk about while you're going through this is that you have to understand that you have to do what's right for your family. You need to understand that you and your partner are a family already. A lot of people feel like I'm not a family until I know. When you're united with someone and you guys have that bond that you guys are together, you guys are a family, right? You and your partner are a family. Make sure that both voices are heard going through this process. You want to make sure that you're checking in. You can easily spiral out of control. Don't think that your partner isn't going through it if they're physically not going through it, because they have to be a column of strength for you. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to the bathroom and crying or finding ways to pick you up or wishing to take the burden off of you. Excuse me. That's what happened to my husband, where at one point I blamed him, like, I wish you had went through it. And he told me, me too. I wish I could take the pain because I feel I'm stronger than you. And I feel like this is so unfair that you have to go through this. And, you know, I'm competitive. So in my mind, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I could go through this. But it took me a while to realize this is something that he's going through too, because he's being strong for me and I have to be strong for him. And I can't act like this is not hurting him. It's difficult to see somebody you love get tortured and then you're helpless because you can't do anything. So always remember that you and your partners both have a voice and both your voices should be heard throughout this process, right? Also, you know what? Let me take a little agua break. I don't know why I'm getting gallitos. Also, learn to listen to yourself, okay? If you need to take a break, take a break. Get your mind off of it. Go on vacation. Bring the happiness and color back into your life. Don't let this situation consume your life of different shades of gray. Lots of times when we go through this, we forget to self-care. We have to focus and make ourselves feel good. I had to take, after my second miscarriage, I had to take some time off. And I told my husband, I'm not doing this. I took time off. I was able to reflect. I was able not to concentrate, and I wasn't always agitated and wound up about, I got to take the medication at this time. I got to do this and I got to do that. I was able to relax. And after 5 months, then I was ready. But that's me. There's people that can take a year. There's people that can take 2 years. Do what's right for you, but listen to yourself, because you are the person going through this. And at the end of the day, you need to make sure that you're in the right headspace and that you're fine. If you don't feel well, continue taking your little vacation until you feel like you can muster up the courage to continue and move forward, right? Okay. And also, do not travel alone in this journey. I said it before and I'll say it again. Todo el mundo necesita un coro de gente. Don't travel alone. Involve yourselves with different pages, apps, bloggers. Distract your mind, which leads me to how to use my page, Tootsie Rolaids Life Sweet Relief. So the thing is that I would be one of those pages that I can help you and facilitate your needs as much as I can during your journey. So I'm going to teach you guys how to use my page, right? So yo tengo un tro de vaina en esa página y yo quiero que ustedes se beneficien. So one of the things, listen to my podcast. That was easy, right? So I'm on Spotify, I'm on Apple Podcasts, I'm on Google Podcasts, I'm on iHeartRadio, etc., etc., etc. If they have a podcast, chances are Tootsie Rolaids is on there, and it's all free. So you could definitely go on there, look for me, type in my entire name, Tootsie Rolaids, like Sweet Relief, and you will find me. Okay. The great thing about it is that I have so many different types of episodes, from distraction episodes, which are episodes best used for when you're waiting for your results or going into a procedures y tú tienes que distraerte la mente and you just need a good bochinche. Like, just tell me about something so stupid that it has nothing to do with anything I'm going through. That's my podcast for you. I have those type of episodes that talk about something silly like Uno, how to properly play the game. How about my worst dates? I've had horrible dates. Y los cuentos míos son chistosos. O sea que prepárate y cállate la boca, because if you're on the train or on the car, you're definitely going to burst out laughing. And it's great to hear these type of episodes when you're going to procedures or when you're going to go and get results, because it just takes the edge off. Sometimes you just need a distraction. You don't want to hear so many people, talking to you and almost forcing you to have a conversation where you just want to entertain me, like just talk to me. And a lot of my episodes have those distraction episodes, so that's great. And I have educational episodes. And for example, I have an episode on burning out. Sometimes you just burn out. It's not so much depression. It's just that you burn out from doing this over and over again. And I have experts that come. I have therapists that come. I have professionals that can speak and can give you advice through my podcast. Also, there's also other people's journey. So you get to hear what other women have gone through throughout their journey and how they felt and how that mirrors what you're going through. So you feel not alone, because you're not alone. Okay. So it's a great place to start. The second page is Instagram, my baby. This page is seriously my baby. I love using this platform because it's a quick take on the information that you need, and it's hilarious. My page es cómico, okay? Y bueno, mujer, ven, mira y te va de una vez, ting, 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 okay? Also, I help on my page by posting things like the vocabulary that people use on their page, and you're like, ¿y qué? So, for example, when you go and you look at blogs, sometimes they don't automatically write what the abbreviation is. So you'd be like, oh my gosh, they say I was AMA. And you're like, American Music Association. What's that? Actually, AMA means Advanced Maternal Age. But sometimes you don't have the time to look up the little acronym, right? Or when they like, oh my gosh, I'm for DPO. And you're like, ¿y qué? So DPO es una ganga o algo. What the heck is that? DPO stands for days post-ovulation. So when you go to my Instagram page, not only do I give you information on foundations, state grants, I also give you words of encouragement. I give you things to lift up your animal. And I have it in English and in Spanish. So if you see encouraging words in English, you'll definitely see them in Spanish. Because I want to make sure that both my languages are represented. If I knew a third, you would have three. Pero solamente sé dos. So definitely come to my Instagram page, give it a like, and give it a look. También, I have a website. Yes, I have a website. So come and sign up. It's free. It's www.tootsierolaids.com. Sign up for the newsletter and stay up to date with all the events that will happen soon. Okay. Also, I have an outlet called the Rose Project. Okay, so basically the Rose Project, it's a quarterly giveaway that I do for women who need to remember that they need self-care. Free to enter, but it's only in the U.S. porque no hay cuarto para mandar afuera de los Estados Unidos. I am so sorry for you, but it is the truth. I keep it 100. Because sometimes you need, you probably can't, you never know if you can afford to do a self-care. So si tú te ganas una canastica y te lo mando, eso no le hace mal a nadie. Nobody's going to get hurt if you get a little prize. And the great thing about the Rose Project is you don't have to go through infertility to participate. What you can do is win and then send it to a friend that's going through infertility. So if you're a friend of a friend, you definitely can sign up. And when you win it, you could definitely send it to them. And it's just a little cariñito to let them know that they're not alone. Okay. Also, use me as an outlet. You can reach out to me. Okay. I'm a great cheerleader and all of my help is free. Pero tú sabes, si yo vendo una cosita, tú sabes, un apoyito nunca le ha hecho daño a nadie. But it's always completely free, the help that I give. If you feel like you want to just send me a message and like, hey, Rocio, I have a question, go for it. The whole point of the community is to let you know you're not alone. So you can have these conversations. You're more willing and able to ask me. I do respond to DMs. I have a lot of time on my hands. I'll probably not respond immediately, but you could definitely reach out to me, and I definitely reach out back to everybody that sends me a DM through Instagram. Or you could just email me at tootsierolaids@gmail.com. I respond way quicker to my Instagram DMs because that's where I'm at now. Okay? A little shimmy. And that's it. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to hop back on to the regular screen and hide this completely. Stop sharing. There you go. All right.
Hey, Rocio, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome, girl. You brought it to the table, mujer.
Trying to make sure I was in the half, and I was like, trying to.
You got it, girl. You got it. Fire, fire, fire. You had tons of hearts and cares.
I did. Yay.
Yes, thank you. So, mira, I actually have one person that said that she wants to reach out to you offline And then I had a couple of questions that came through text, but also asked if they could ask you, if I can ask you offline. So
you can do both. You can ask me offline, and you could just go, if you guys go to my Instagram,
okay,
Tootsie Rolaids, just look for me, because that's why I put my logo out there, so you guys see, oh, this colorful thing, it's Rocio, ella está ahí. So you can click on it, and you can definitely DM me any questions that you have, and definitely follow. So you could just pop up, give me hearts, give me likes.
Yes. And we've been flashing. We flashed your Instagram on the screen. We flashed your Facebook page. We're flashing right now your website on the bottom.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah. So they're going to connect with you, girl. And I make sure that I give you the name so there can be some follow up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But there's no general questions to ask?
Yeah, so I got no general. Well, they're general, but they just prefer to connect with you
personally
outside. But right now, there's no questions coming through other than, tons of comments. We were flashing comments on the screen. So anything that comes in afterwards, I'll make sure that we give you that and make sure we point it out so you can answer any additional questions, Mohed. But is there any final words that you want to share? And then
please make sure you remember you're not alone. This can isolate yourself. Listen, when I got married, I have 11 bridesmaids, 11, and groomsmen, 11. So I have I'm not the people that believe in like, keep your circle small. No, I'm not that person. That's a mental thing.
Right, but you know what? I really
keep your circle true.
Yes.
And let me tell you, so the thing is, you keep your circle true. What does that mean? That even though I had 11 friends, I still felt alone. I still felt they couldn't understand my journey, because not all of them were going through infertility. Not all of them can, resonate with me. So that's why I'm kind of like, even if you have a huge group of friends, you don't know if you are actually going to feel like you're being supported. You're still gonna feel alone. But you have pages like me that, I'm not in your face 24/7, but you could definitely come to my page and resonate with the jokes. Everybody, para el gusto se hizo los colores. I am a happy person. I'm a cheerleader. I'm the type of person that I like to go out of my way to bring happiness to you. There's other people that want a little bit more serious tone. I'm the type of person that you can't overstimulate me with information. Mm-hmm. So that's why my page, I make it so colorful. I make it pop of energy, because tú necesitas esa energía positiva. You can do it.
Yes. I love it, Rocio. I love it. Well, we have another speaker coming up, so want to make sure that we get her plugged in. But Rocio, thank you. I'm so happy that we connected, and we're gonna be working some more together, girl, mujer, because that energy.
Déjame saber, I totally like this. Tú vas a tener que enseñarme esto después también para yo entender, porque yo no entiendo ni papa de esto. Lo que tú dijiste que tú hiciste, I appreciate, because I don't understand ni papa de lo que tú.
I got you, girl. I got you. That's what it's about, right? It's about helping each other. So, mujer, muchas gracias. And then, so I'm going to depart with everyone. Mujer, thank you. And we will see you in the next speaker series session. So, bye for now, everyone. Bye.